Hey, it's Tuesday, March 11th, and this is the weekly update for Spokane Audio. Obviously, it's a little bit different setting today. I am up in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, enjoying a little bit of time off. Mark's been holding down the fort at the shop, so we'll do something a little different today. And he sent me some videos and pictures of some of the things he's gotten done over the last couple days. So we'll try and talk our way through it and piece together the videos that he sent me. I think last week we left off with the Porsche GT3, the back end of it all tore apart. So some of these pictures here are the mounts he made for the rear radar sensor. He machined a piece out of aluminum to mount to the factory bolt locations in the back. So bolts right in there, looks really nice. For the rear laser sensors, we took and that rear license plate piece that bolts to the factory bumper, we took and we cut that, and then we made a plate frame and used IR acrylic over the front of where the sensors are so that the sensors will read through the IR acrylic. You can't use regular acrylic, you got to use special IR infrared or whatever, so it sees through it better. So made that, didn't get a final shot, but we painted it black. So that way you can't see any sensors in the rear. On the front, you can see there that he used the Redenzo radar bracket and mounted that to a factory location. So the radar is behind the bumper there. And then he did the three laser sensors across the front. Got the TX sensor in the center, and then the two RXs on the sides. They kind of blend in pretty decent in that car since it's a black car and it's kind of recessed back in there. So that pretty much buttoned up the GT3. Didn't get any final video of that one just because I was out of town and I usually do all the videoing stuff. So maybe on the next one we'll try and do a full build. We also got the parts back from powder coating for the GT project. Those are the rear pieces that are kind of accent pieces above the amplifiers. Those mimic the seat perforations. So that turned out pretty cool with the black mesh in the background there. And then the amps down below. And we trim that all out with like a European style carpet, I think. It's usually like used in Audis and things like that. So turned out pretty nice. Another thing that we did in the GT is we replaced the rear view mirror with one that has video inputs. So we did a rear camera, so that automatically comes on when you put it in reverse. And then you can also press the power button and get you to your front. We also put a front camera on that, so a little bit easier for parking. That turned out really nice. We did have to modify the mirror a little bit because it wouldn't adjust far enough up. So we were able to modify that so it would come all the way up and be close to the headliner, because before it was a little bit lower because the angle of that windshield is so steep, it wouldn't adjust all the way up. So we made a workaround for that. On the GT, the Ford GT project, we're going to fiberglass that box probably this week and try and get that buttoned up, a couple more trim panels, and then that thing is going to probably be hopefully done and out of there in a week or two. We got a couple other, miscellaneous little jobs in between. So when that one's all done, I will do a full video and, kind of not tutorial, but just kind of a breakdown of everything we did in it. And anyway, that'll be a video of its own. Another small little project is we cut out some aluminum dash pieces to fit the JL controller in a Mastercraft boat for an old friend that I used to work with actually at a different shop. So he can get a little bit better sound in his boat this summer. We haven't had much time to work on the boat project since I've been out of town, and then Mark's been pretty busy finishing up that GT or GT3 and then working on the GT. So hopefully we'll get back to that when I'm back in town. The last thing I wanted to talk about before ending this video is just I hope everybody out there that's watching this that is in the industry, they keep a really good work-life balance. A while back, years ago, I found myself really getting too involved in the work side of life and not, the life side of life. And, I was always on forums, always, trying to post to certain Facebook things, for certain industry things. And at the time, I thought it was are really great, trying to prove, your work and your worth. But at the end of the day, it's like you need to have separation between those two things. A lot of times I see, when I do bounce back or, look at some social media stuff nowadays, it's like I watch some of these people and it's all they're doing is working. Um, their time off, they're going to all these different conferences and things like that. And I'm like, I hope you're still taking time for yourself and your family outside of work. So that's one thing that Mark and I have really tried to do is not overwork. Um, try and get out, have fun, do outdoor activities like snowmobiling. Mark likes to go ATVing a lot and spend a lot of time with our families. We try not to work overtime. Um, we don't work weekends, and it's just not worth it at the end of the day. I feel like if everybody does their job during the week to the best of their ability, there shouldn't be any reason that you have to work a ton of overtime or weekends or spend all your extra money to go to conferences. Just I don't know. I just over getting older, you start realizing that that stuff doesn't really matter. And when I stopped doing those things, business kept going. It just I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm just trying to say, make sure you take time for yourself. Well, I don't know what I meant by all that, but hopefully you understand that, the older you get, the more you realize it's more about the things you want to do versus the things you think you have to do. So I guess just get out there and do things you love. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good week, and next week maybe a day or so late for the weekly update because I travel on Tuesday. So anyway, hope everybody has a great week, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.